Alright boys, it is tier list time, and I think we all know what we have to do right now. Yep, I think that seems right.
Full counter.
Alright boys, welcome back. So it is a new month, which means it is time for a new tier list. It's been about 3 weeks since I've actually last updated it, and a lot of things do need to change, and we also have to add a lot of new characters as well. So let's just start off by probably adding 2 more tiers, I mean, honest with you lot, because putting all the SSRs in S tier, it's too clunky. We have to separate them. And of course, we're going to be adding SSS and in Noelle. So we'll just jump straight to that part, right? Noelle, she's by far the best character in the game, by miles. Like, it's generally insane. No one's doing what she's doing. She's just doing way too much. And generally, people are calling for a nerf, which I'm starting to agree with. It's that crazy, right? If you play Grand Cross, she is basically Lost Vein, but he released at the start of the game. It's that crazy, right? So, yeah, by far, she's by far the best character in the game. And going straight up to the Noelle tier until we get new characters, until we somehow nerf or somehow balance it out a little bit. But it's going to be a while before that happens. The next thing I want to do is move down to A tier, mainly because I kind of already had him there just because he was by far the best character, or like the best SR, good free to be friendly character. And for me personally, carried me through so much content early game when you can't get characters because you're free to play. So that's why he was so high, even though the character's not that great now. And I think we want to move some characters up. So SS, we'll put Mars up. I'm going to put Radies as well. Probably William and Lotus. These are like just all the defender characters, support characters. They're just genuinely insane. Mars are good for farming, good stun, good PvP, almost good in every content. Radies is a good defensive character. Gives you shield, damage reduction as well, defense. Just it's another top tier character I kind of slept on a little bit. William is just going to give you more physical attack if you're using physical attack characters. He's going to give you character attack, although if you compare it towards Noelle, it's not that great. Damage reduction as well. Can turn people to a tree. It's just a good character to bring. Lotus, extending debuffs, applying attack load as AoE in the tier 1, lowering the actual incapacitate so you deal more damage to those characters. Lotus is by far, I mean, to be fair, I want to put him at the top of the actual S tier. Not that a reason order, but I do think Lotus is by far probably the second best character in the game next to Noelle, if you class him as being like a god tier support. Lick's got to go up as well. Real's probably going to go up too. Sally's moving up, so is Fana, and also so is Noelle. And we're going to move up the other SSRs that were in B tier, just because if we're being honest, right, when you're doing PvE farming and you're just using SSRs in general, they are just better than every SR or most SRs and red characters. So even though I think these 3 are by far probably the worst SSRs in the game, especially those are probably by far the worst, it's you can still use them in content. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to move Charlotte up. Charlotte's actually pretty decent. People correct me in the comments. I haven't seen too much of her, but she's got an AoE skill. Good for PvE farm. If you can get kills, you get the actual extra turn. And I think right now, depending on what strategy you do use, having that action marked on with probably Noelle, getting extra turns, could be kind of crazy because Noelle's just nuking, so maybe it isn't too bad. I think what people using right now is the Raya and also Lit combo. And if you're able to get a kill with the marked targets with Charlotte, if someone's actually done this combo, then you get another turn, so it's not too bad. I'm gonna move Soul up as well, because she's honestly carried through a lot of content. She is basically a free to play Mars if you actually don't get him. So Soul, I've seen the light a little bit. She's gonna move up to, honestly, Vatos I think is going up to SS, because from what I've seen from the character, everyone is using him. If we look at the top teams right now, people are using this character in SR. People aren't fully maxed out when they're using him, because people realize that actually getting more stamina than speed is probably a bit more important. Plus, also right now with Noelle, he is increasing magic attack by like level 3, which just means you're getting more damage on your shield, you're getting more damage on Noelle. So as it is right now with the Noelle meta, he has been boosted up quite a bit because he is a godly support for her. And yeah, I mean, you can see, him and Noelle is probably by far the 2 most used characters right now on the top tier ladders. I think what Lucas are going to move up Charmy and also Teresa, just because from what I've seen, Charmy got some play recently, and once again, going against blue stages, actually, I don't think it's too bad. Teresa's got the guaranteed burns, AoE, guaranteed 100% of the time, so you could do some sort of mean combo with like her and Fana, her and Fagolian, her and Leo. Once again, not the best, but once again, I think she's got more use out of these ones, and probably better SR just in general. Okay, so Finral, we're going to move up to SS just because he is still one of the best supports right now. Although, more or less, right now the meta is focused on Noel, so having him in your team is not as important as wherever you want, obviously, Vatos. But a combo that's kind of broken right now and still broken last season before Noel came out, probably by far the best team at that time, is the Raya combo. So Raya's going to go into SS, mainly because of his actual combined attack with Licht, which allows him to copy one buff from, obviously, Licht, which is insane, but also applies the actual attack increase. And if you rob like the actual crit chance he does, and you bring obviously Finral, which increases crit damage, also crit chance and speed, and just all the extra stuff that you can copy off him, it's by far the best thing. And I think we got to see the full power of it before it was kind of nerfed, because apparently the level 1s were doing level 5 damage, which is what you have to do to max it out, and the combo is insane. So I've seen top tier PvP teams and still people using it right now, even with the Noel meta. It's still doing work here. So I think Raya right now is going to go into the SS because he's just by far, he makes his combo work. He makes Licht work, where I think Licht by himself without Raya is, yeah, not as great. They kind of need each other, to be fair, but Raya, AoE skill on a tier 1, tier 2 skill as well. It's just copy and buff, removing buffs as well. If you have the skill page, it is good, especially when you go towards people buffing up like crazy. So the fact that you can rub the buffs and just like actually remove them is generally quite nice. Okay, so Vettel was a new character got added recently, and he's gonna go to S, man. Honestly, he's nothing too crazy. He's more of like a troll character where he gets like mega power up if his whole team died, so you kind of like a Suicide Squad in a little bit. But from what I've seen for the character, and to be fair, no one's really even using the character, it's yeah, maybe only good for farming. If I'm honest with you, like red farming, he's got good AoE damage, good lifesteal as well. He can keep himself alive. It's just he's just not really used too much. It's just better options right now. I still think he's probably better than the 8 is, so he's gonna go into S because yeah, I think he gets more use. I will say for Jack, if you're wondering why he's so low, he's only used in the actual raid bosses of Amino too low. And I think even right now, there's probably better options. Just because, like, he's got a buff skill and a single target skill. So, to bring him for PvE farming, you know, there's no actual point because you rather have AoEs and or at least 2 ways to deal damage. And, yeah, to keep buffing up and do single target damage is not good enough, I think. And the PvP as well, too slow. It's just, you rather just have, like, you know, AoE damage dealers or just Noel, basically. So, he's going to stay in the A tier. Alright, so Ghosh is the newest character. I think he's S, maybe even close to SS. He's very similar to what both him and Vatos are trying to do. You're still getting magic attack. He is doing both magic and physical, so you can fit in more teams. But I think right now with the meta, you want to go towards Noel. I think with Vatos, you'll probably get a bit more value just because you get more stamina, which means you can actually attack more often. While you are getting a bit more buffs and like penetration, all that extra stuff with Ghosh. Right now, I think people are more favored towards Vatos just because, once again, the stamina, it's so important, right? Just get some more attacks in, build attack before your opponent, especially when you're going to be against another mirror match of a Noel. It's probably a bit better to bring him. But we'll have to wait and see how things change out. His ultimate also gives him damage over time effect for immunity on the ultimate, which, I mean, it's only towards, what, Yami? I think, unless does that count burn? It does count burn, but no one's really using burn right now, so it's, yeah, not the most useful one. And then, you know, once again, it's going to go into S as well. He's a pretty good character. Once again, he gives attack reduction, more just debuffing the opponent. He's going to apply incapacitate, something similar to Lotus. But Lotus is probably just a bit better, if I'm honest with you lot. Honestly, he's got a pretty good skill on his actual combined attack if you use it properly, where you can actually remove mortality, which seems like it was supposed to be countering the actual Licht and also Rai combo in a way, right? But unfortunately, yeah, they released Noel. So maybe this guy would have had more time to shine and counter the actual Licht combo, or more or less counter the Licht. But yeah, Noel just kind of popped out of nowhere and just stole the show, basically. Okay, no, actually, you know what? I'm going to move these guys down. I think, yeah, they probably shouldn't be up there. But boys, that is the tier list. Let me know what you guys think. A lot has changed. And to be fair, even next month, we're probably going to change a lot more once we realize the meta characters. But from what I can see, Noel just miles above everyone else. And in SS ranked is literally, I think, with Noel, the only things people are using in PvP right now is literally only these characters. Let me know about the A tier, because as it is right now, I've seen 0 use for Nozel. I have Leo, 0 use for him. Jack actually is pretty good, but only for like the golems and raid bosses, because you can't use him in farming, you can't use him in PvP, it's just way too slow. And I think the top tier list here, you can probably argue Licht because him and Raya are such a dirty combo, but I think it's only because of Raya. And we have to wait and see how the meta forms within the next weeks or two, because a lot has changed. Once again, Vatos was like down in the B tier. tier, but we realized how important stamina is, and then also with the magic attack with Noelle, it was just too much. So one character completely move a character up to the S tier, so let's wait and see. So boys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Make sure if you want to make your own tier list, the link is in the description. I've spent hours making this look pretty, so you know, spoil yourself. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.